Welcome back, everybody, to Crime and Plastic. Hope everyone is doing well. Are you doing well?
I'm doing fantastic.
I'm so fucking hungry. This is what happens when I don't have my Chick-fil-A.
Oh yeah, you're supposed to eat Chick-fil-A while you podcast.
That's okay.
The thing is that I'm going to dinner with my dad, so I haven't eaten. But I'm really fucking hungry.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, but you'll be. It's a fancy restaurant, right? So you'll be,
It's
you'll
absolutely not
enjoy
a
it.
fancy restaurant.
It's not.
No.
It's her favorite. It's one of her favorites.
Oh, I thought
anyway.
it was a fancy place. She always talks about it.
It's Katana.
It's
I mean,
not-
it's not Burger King, but
it's sushi.
It sounds like
Sushi.
it would be a fancy. Sounds like a fancy name. A Miami
it's
place. Katana.
it's a restaurant that's super small. It's built in a U shape, and
Uh-huh.
the seats are like you sit facing inward.
Everybody
U.
sits in like one big
There's a guy in the
big booth.
there's a U. Imagine a U.
It's like sitting at the bar.
Yeah, imagine a letter U. There's a man in the middle, and he's making sushi, and everyone is sitting facing toward him. And there's only like 20 spots or something like that. And everyone always wants to fucking go. And so you have to wait for one of the 20 people to get up to eat. And these little boats go by on the U, and you pick up whatever sushi you want, and you eat it. And then they charge you by the cost of the plate.
It's cool.
So you don't
Is it
actually
like
order?
a Squid Game to
No.
get the seats?
You can order, and then there's waiters that go around like giving you water or tea or beer or spicy mayo, whatever you ask for, and so you can order. There's like a menu, but I usually don't.
I have a great idea for a restaurant. Same exact concept. The U though, it's on like tracks. So like you move like the car moves in Disney World,
Mm-hmm.
And so by the time you get to you have to leave. So it's like a circuit.
But
It
then
just
it's
moves
not,
very slow.
It can't be a U. It'd have to be an O.
Right. I hear you. It's like whatever. Fine. It goes down under and then it comes back the other way. All right.
Down under. What about the person?
No, you got to be out. That's why. Just like a ride. It's like a
Like
ride.
a ski lift.
It's a ride restaurant.
But that means
we'll call it the ride.
that means that the first customer will be eating alone the first round. Like you can't fill the last. seat.
You can't go more than one round. That's the whole point.
No, but what I'm
That
saying,
way it's like
if it's a U,
yeah.
then when you open up the restaurant for that day,
Yeah.
you can't fill the last seat because then they would have no time. They would go under really fast.
Of course not. No, you start on one side, person just like a ride.
So the first
Person goes on, he gets on. The empty seats go around. They go under that, and they come back over there.
it just might
circle.
not work logistically. 'Cause
I
when-
think it's brilliant.
when you open
frankly.
the doors, people are hungry and waiting, and you can only sit down one person.
Is
No,
there
but your seat's going to come up. You can't say just one person. The first person sits. He waits 30 seconds. It moves a little bit. Next person
Is
sits.
there-
30 seconds.
Is there like a time limit? Is there a time limit when you're there?
That's
Or
what I'm
is it-
saying. You have to enforce a time limit
Oh,
by
no,
having a
I'm
ride.
I'm asking-
It depends. So if they're
If they-
busy, if they're busy, then there's a time limit. And if they don't like
What do you mean
you,
a
then
time
there's a
limit? They
time
throw
limit.
you out?
Yeah.
They tell you, you gotta go.
It is Squid Game.
No, they're not nice at all. But
well, I mean,
love
if
them.
they see you not eating, they probably like, we need that chair.
No, they're like, yeah, if you're not eating.
When
if-
you're
if
there
talking-
tonight, if it comes up in the conversation, suggest it to the owner. My idea.
The owner. That place has been open since like the 90s. And they're
Okay.
doing just fine.
But think how much better they could do. They wouldn't have to shut people out. It would just go round and round.
All
They do it the old fashioned way. They just look you in the face and they say, you gotta go.
I love it. All right. Do you have any news stories for us today?
Thankfully, this is a week without any
Okay.
plastic surgeons committing any crime that I could find on the internet.
Okay.
I'm
All right.
sure next week will be double.
So we'll have to go back in time with me to hear the crime.
Yes.
Okay. So we are going
By
back
the way, how many weeks have we not had crime?
a handful.
Maybe 2.
Hmm.
Go ahead.
Okay. So we are going back to 1993.
Good year.
I wasn't born.
I was
This
in my
is before you were born.
second year of medical school.
I was in high school. I was in 8th grade, actually. So this is about Dr. Martin Sullivan. Well, it's not about him, but it's kind of about him. He's part of the story. So Dr. Martin Sullivan is a plastic surgeon in Wilmette, Illinois, so near Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
He is 68 years old at this time. still going strong, still loving being a surgeon. He did most of his practice was actually reconstructive. He dedicated at least 1 day a week to doing to repairing cleft palates at a children's hospital program that he founded and headed and chaired. And he was, on the chair of hospitals. He was very well respected, very well liked. He had 8 children, 21 grandchildren.
Wow.
Family man. Well respected in his community.
How old is he in 1993?
68.
Okay, so he's like the end of his career.
Yeah.
Got it.
He was still going strong though. He was probably going to retire soon, but he really loved what he was doing.
Right.
So one day on August 6, 1993, there's an appointment for a rhinoplasty consultation made by John Rothman. John Rothman comes, fills out his paperwork, gets put in like 15 minutes later, gets put in an exam room, waits for the doctor Dr. Sullivan to walk in. Dr. Sullivan walks in to do his rhinoplasty consult. John Rothman takes out a gun, shoots him.
Oh,
He didn't even have a nose job yet?
No, he was there for a consultation.
he's like,
So he wasn't like mad that no.
No,
it's like you didn't pass the test. You should have said, I don't need one.
I don't even think he gave him a chance to speak. He just walked in the room, like looked at him, shot him 6 times.
6 times.
Yeah,
So you
he
wanted to
shot
kill
it.
him.
He shot him once, and then Dr. Sullivan kind of reached for the gun, and they struggled, and then he shot him like 3 more times. He shot off 6 bullets, but he got him 3 times, and then he ran away. He escaped. John escaped, and Dr. Sullivan, called an ambulance. But he was murdered. He died.
Oh,
Terrible.
The 3 bullets shot him in the chest and 1 grazed his forehead. So who is John Rothman? And why did he do what he did?
He's a guy who needs a nose
it's
job.
always the Johns. John Wilkes Booth.
Yes. So
Good
John...
point.
That's
So
the
then-
only John I know.
So the police are looking for John Rothman. He's white male in his 30s. And he was driving a beat-up 1968 Volkswagen. He went to see Dr. Sullivan around 2, but at around 11 o'clock, he went to see the local representative, Jeff Schoenberg, and to go speak to him.
Like state or
State.
State, not
Yeah.
national, not congressional.
So, and then the administrative aide for the representative, Mitchell Lifson, said he's not available. So he sent him away, and he saw that, I guess he got a weird feeling about him because he saw his car and he took down his license plate. And then when he heard on the news what had happened, he gave the license plate number because he came in saying he was John Rothman also.
Right.
So he got his car and his license plate number. He gave it to the police. The next day, the police got a police car saw him in Skokie, pulled him over.
What's Skokie?
Skokie, Illinois. It's a
Illinois.
suburb of Chicago.
Yeah, suburb.
Oh, okay.
It's actually a very Jewish neighborhood.
Yes, and then he gets arrested, and then Jonathan, his name is actually Jonathan Haynes. On August 8th, this was 2 days later.
Oh, he
was
made
arrested.
the appointment under a fake name.
Yes.
With both people.
he's
the
so smart.
state rep.
Only changed his last name.
Yes. And then he take him to the room,
I'm Jonathan Rothman.
and he asks for a piece of paper, and he writes down his full confession. And in his confession,
Oh.
he says that he originally came to Chicago because he wanted to kill Charles Stroop, because Charles Stroop was an eye contacts. He was a head of a company that made contacts, blue tinted contact lenses.
That's
We
funny.
were just talking about
I know.
the surgery to change the eye color.
Yes, I know.
And I was telling you how Tino Mendieta, a surgeon friend of mine, plastic surgeon friend of mine, just got his eyes turned to blue
Yes.
with that micropigment tattoo thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he looks great
So
with blue eyes.
he originally wanted to kill him because Charles Stroop, because he's making blue tinted contact lenses and letting the promoting
no.
fake Aryan beauty by letting people
he's
be
one of
able to
these.
have blue eyes.
No, as
He's like
soon
a-
as you said the blue, and I
Yeah.
was like, oh, this
He's like
is
a
going-
neo-Nazi guy.
Yes, he's a neo-Nazi. And then he tried to kill Charles Stroop, but he couldn't. But after following him for a few days, his schedule was like too, what's it called? Was too like irregular. Like he didn't have a set schedule, so he wasn't able. Like he was riding his bike and he tried to shoot him, but the guy like went into his house or whatever, so he wasn't able to. So he made a change. He made like a quick change of plans. He looked at the yellow pages, and poor Martin Sullivan had the biggest. If you guys don't know what yellow pages are, it's like the phone book. There used
Before
to be,
the internet.
yes, there was a phone book where people advertise their businesses, and Martin Sullivan had the biggest ad, and so he picked him because plastic surgery was also a way to give people Aryan beauty.
Non-aliens. The Aryan beauty.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. What color eyes does John Rothman Haynes have?
I don't think he had blue eyes.
They
Sorry.
never do.
Yeah.
They never do.
Hitler didn't either.
They never do.
So,
There's like I mean it's such a tragic story.
yeah. And then
But the kind of crazy psychosis in that guy's
Yeah.
head.
And then while he was saying that he killed, after that he failed to kill, so when they go to his apartment, in his car in his apartment, he has a confession tape that he was gonna send to like cosmetic companies who were promoting Aryan beauty to non-Aryans to like warn them off doing it,
You mean like
like
hair dye, like blonde
cosmetics,
wigs?
yeah. And then he also confessed that in 1987 in California, he had gone to see Frank Ringy, sorry, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. He was a hairdresser in San Francisco, and he went in for also consultation. Frank Ringy was a hair colorist. So he went to his salon. They went to the room to do a consultation, also shot him.
You got away
And
with
then-
it?
And then, and Frank Ringy's boyfriend came in and was like, oh my God. And he shot Frank Ringy's boyfriend too. His boyfriend ended up living, but Frank Ringy died.
Oh, that's so sad.
And then
And they never found this
they
nut?
never found him. Till he confessed when he killed Martin Sullivan, they didn't know. So he was there for 6 years because he didn't kill Dr. Sullivan until 1993.
This guy is like so unhinged.
And then in the
Didn't you just color your hair?
Yeah, pink. The real Aryan beauty.
No, it's you're gonna get killed by one of those troll dolls with the pink
Yeah.
hair.
Yeah,
Yeah,
why are
and
you
th-
stealing?
Why are you stealing troll beauty?
And then the years between killing the guy at the hair salon and the doctor, he actually was a chemist for the alcohol, the ATF, alcohol, tobacco, firearms. He
Uh-huh.
worked for the government for a few years, and then he came in 1993 to Chicago.
They
to
don't do
kill.
background checks when you
Th-
join the ATF.
Well, nobody knew who killed this. There was an unsolved murder in California.
I think every federal job should have at least a lie detector test where they ask you the simple question: have you murdered anybody?
Yeah, maybe.
See
But
if-
what if you're just a
no.
nervous person?
It's okay. Maybe this job isn't for you. If you can't pass, did I murder somebody?
And then you find like going back into his background, he grew up in apparently a completely normal family, and they had no idea that a self-described liberal family. They were, very
Well, this is 1993.
yeah. Well, they were part of the civil rights movement. They were
Hippies.
I guess they're supportive of there's a lot of like very progressive liberal like Supreme Court decisions in the 60s and 70s that they were like super supportive of. They thought of themselves as a liberal family. They had no idea that their son was harboring these Aryan like neo-Nazi tendencies.
That's crazy.
They said that he was, unpopular and
No.
quiet, and that
No,
they
really?
worried about him. Like after high school, he didn't go to college, and he was kind of just like wandering alone and whatever. But they said during this period from I guess after he killed the hairdresser, that he was like at peace and happy, and like they were finally like, oh, he's getting his life together. He got a job as a chemist. Like he seemed like on track finally. And meanwhile, it's because he killed somebody. And he says that he fell in love with Nazis and Aryan beauty when he was 12 years old. He was, I guess, studying World War II. And he was very sympathetic to the Nazis. And he just fell in love with their their beauty and their culture, and he was like part of.
Culture.
What a nice guy.
Yeah,
Not.
and he was.
Where did he grow up? What
Not
city and state?
culture.
He grew up in. He was living in Maryland. They moved around a lot. They were in Maryland, California. They were. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know exactly where he was born, but he moved around to a few states
Right.
growing up.
And he's in his 30s. How old was he when he got
34.
34. Okay.
34.
So
And
early
then
30s.
when he goes to so then he's put on trial. He declines counsel. He's gonna self-represent himself.
They always do.
They always do. What do you call it? Pro se?
Pro
se.
se, yes.
Pro se. So
And
Pro se
he
for the
he
crazy.
confessed. Why is there even a trial?
he's still got a trial
Okay.
because there could be. He thought what he did was right. He said at his trial, at his
Killing
first
some
hearing,
old, almost retired plastic surgeon in a suburb of Chicago.
and what the plastic surgeon's friends, all said is that he actually didn't even really do cosmetic surgery. Cosmetic surgery was like 10% of his practice. Most of his practice was devoted to reconstruction, breast
Yeah.
cancer reconstruction,
Cleft lip and palate.
palates, children. And he said when he was told this, he's like, that wasn't my responsibility to find that out. He's a plastic surgeon. Like he was like, had no remorse, nothing. He said that
Please tell me he got the death penalty.
he says that I condemn bleach blonde hair, tinted blue eyes, and fake facial features brought by plastic surgery. It's time we faced up to it and stopped feeding off Aryans like a horde of locusts in a field of wheat. Yeah. And he said
I bet you he was butt ass ugly too. It's
Well,
always like the
there's
uggos that have something to say about what everyone else looks like.
Yeah.
yeah, he
Like,
said
there's no mention of a girlfriend there, is there? Or a
no, he
boyfriend
would
or
write.
anything?
He put an ad out in like a white supremacist paper to look for a woman, and it said like looking for.
They really have that?
Yeah.
It's like Match.com for white supremacists?
Yes. Let me
Oh.
see if I can find his ad. It was kind of crazy. It was. He said.
Sorry. It's funny, but it's not. It's not funny, but it's funny.
It said.
That's so sick.
This was the 90s.
Yeah, he
80s.
said. In a singles pen pal section, Mr. Haynes sought a bride. I have a dream.
Not a girlfriend, a bride.
I have a dream that 1,000 years from now, there will still be some good-looking people on the planet. I seek out a beautiful wife for the propagation of our kind. My dream girl is Aryan, but leans more towards the fertility goddess than the anorexic. I am booky, brainy, and willing to put my life on the line.
Not the fertility over anorexia. He really just shat on like every category of person there is.
Yes.
And meanwile, I
He
gotta
did
go.
put his
see-
life on the line. I mean, he did.
I
he did
gotta
do
go
that.
see what he looks like. I bet you he would be like a no profile picture monster. Let me find him. John, what?
You don't-
Haynes?
You don't think he would have done well online dating?
No, he would definitely be a no profile picture
John
gangster. Like,
Haynes, murderer. Isn't like a murderpedia? Jonathan Preston Haynes. That's it. Yeah.
yeah.
Racially motivated murders. I see there's a Wikipedia. Let's
So,
see if there's an
At
image.
trial, in his opening statement, he admitted.
Yeah. Is that him? No.
It's mine.
You know, is this him? Yeah, no remorse. Is this him?
I see.
Roro? Is that him? He looks like in The Office. It was like
Yeah, that is him.
Dwight.
Dwight. He looks like Dwight from The Office. True or false?
Yeah.
So, at his opening statement at trial, he's condemned fake Aryan cosmetics, in particular bleach blonde hair, blue tinted contact lenses, and plastic surgery.
What a
It-
nice looking guy the plastic surgeon looked like.
Yeah, very sweet.
Like a sweet
It was
looking
this guy. In his defense, he does have blue eyes.
He did. Well, he did.
Yeah. Not in his defense, but
Yeah.
I mean, like
He did.
Your Honor, I rest my case.
When when he said our beauty, like he was talking about characteristics that he also.
Wow.
The defendant further stated that in committing his murders, he had issued a challenge to society to
He's
act.
still alive?
Okay. So at his trial, his opening statement, he condemned fake Aryan cosmetics, blue tinted contact lenses, bleach blonde hair, plastic surgery, And he said in committing the murders, he was issuing a challenge to society to act in accordance with your stated ideals of human equality.
What does that mean?
I don't know. And
What does that mean? That people shouldn't change themselves at all?
yeah, I
no,
guess.
I don't think that's what he was getting at.
He was just saying, I guess the human equality was just for Aryans, and that you
Oh.
shouldn't try to change to be a fake Aryan, basically. And
I'm sorry, I look good blonde. Like, I just didn't get that hair. Unfortunately, he's gonna have to go fucking kick a bucket because I look good with blonde hair, and that's just the general consensus.
You look good with pink hair.
Yes, now.
And then they did a psych test to see if he was fit to stand trial. He was found to be fit to stand trial.
Not just stand trial, but represent himself.
Yes.
Well,
And I mean, he had two like backup
Attorney.
attorneys, but yeah,
what's a backup attorney?
like when you're representing yourself, the judge will still appoint legal counsel,
Oh.
like as your backup. And then he waived a jury trial, and he was found guilty.
What does that mean?
So he
waive
had a
jury?
bench trial.
What's
Yeah.
a bench trial?
And the judge, you just
The
have
judge
a judge.
Just the
decides.
judge hears
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
You can do that?
Yeah.
The jury's your right.
Oh, interesting.
I mean, they have to give it to you, but you can waive it.
No kidding.
And the judge,
What would you choose?
I would choose a jury trial
Every time.
for sure,
Why?
That's why it's a right. Because that's what you would want. Like,
because the judges could.
No, but some of
judge
these
is-
judges are nuts.
a judge
They're
is
like,
one person.
It's
yeah, I'll let you go.
But a judge is
no,
one
but
person.
you have to convince 12 people versus one.
Yeah, but sometimes these judges are like, hey, get out of here.
And also,
kid. Get out of here, kid.
It's like a jury of your peers. Like, these people are not like scholars of the law. Do you know what I mean? They don't see bad shit happen day in and day out.
I don't have peers.
So the judge found
I'm
him
peerless.
guilty and sentenced him to death.
Oh, good.
He was sentenced to death.
He was sentenced to death. I just saw a photo of him.
Well,
Took a while.
no.
What happened?
It was reversed.
No, it wasn't reversed. He did a lot of appeals. His death sentence was held, but it takes a long time till someone's actually put to death. In 2003, the governor of Illinois commuted all death sentences to life without parole.
Oh,
Son of a bitch. What?
So he's still rotting in prison.
well, you know
What?
what? It's better.
No, he killed a plastic surgeon. It should be instant death.
Yeah, but like at least he's like alive to see that his little dream is not coming true.
He's alive to see Tino Mendieta getting blue eyes on the cover of New Beauty magazine.
Did you see do you remember a couple years ago when was it like National Geographic said that like the average human in 2060 was gonna be like mixed race? Do you remember like they showed an image of like what the average human
Yes.
he probably saw that from jail and like like I
Like,
gotta go
kill me
run
now.
the yard.
Kill me now.
And
Yeah.
he's just
Yeah, but
locked up,
on
he
the
can't do
flip
anything.
side, though, there's a lot of Nazis in prisons. Like, there's like old Aryan gangs and stuff. So, it's not.
He has friends,
Yeah, that might be the best place he ever wanted to be.
maybe.
That's
I don't
why
know.
I think death.
Well, he's still alive, but he appealed. His convictions were always held.
Can we try him in another state, like San Francisco? For
California.
that, they have death penalty, don't they?
I don't
Sam-
think it.
I don't think California has a death penalty.
I think
They
they do,
do.
but I don't think anyone ever gets it.
They never get it, huh? Let me
Yeah.
just ask the
What about
question.
Florida? We still got that or no?
Oh yeah, we do. And
Let's-
Texas
Oh,
kills
that's
like
right.
one a
Tom.
month.
Yeah.
What's going on with Tom?
I don't know. Tell us, Santino.
Yeah. Do a little research.
Let me look. That guy's
Listen,
so
update,
fucking
update,
lame.
Update.
I just feel like when people, it just bothers me when people can't mind their own business.
I know.
Like, what do you care if somebody is doing? Like, you're
Man-
not changing the world by shooting the plastic surgeon with the biggest yellow pages ad.
Or the guy who has the contact lenses company. Like, how did you even find him?
Like, the company's gonna persist. The plastic surgeons are gonna continue to go to school and multiply. Like,
I feel really bad for Dr. Sullivan.
I
He was
know.
he was.
and the poor hairstylist
Yeah.
too.
No, yeah. The
What
hair.
about the boyfriend of the hairstylist? He doesn't even.
Oh yeah, he's
he-
alive though.
Oh, okay.
He lived, but he got after his boyfriend died, he went bankrupt because the business failed, and so his life.
Well, I guess he did reach that goal.
Yeah, so his he didn't he suffered definitely. I mean, obviously besides his boyfriend dying, but his life he worked in the hair salon also.
capital punishment is legal in California. However, it has not allowed to be carried out since 2019 because Governor Gavin Newsom made an official moratorium
Yeah.
on carrying it out. But it is an actual.
Yeah, I know they have it there. I just don't think they ever use it.
Well.
So
Let's see what's going on with Tom.
That guy's so lame and ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I bet you his parents are not saying the full story. Because I don't think you could just... If that was happening since he was 12...
Yeah. And they
had-
saw no signs. He was one of 4 kids. And like they said, they thought of themselves as like a normal liberal family. They were shocked that he had these neo-Nazi tendencies. And
I bet if he would have found a nice Aryan girl,
Aryan princess, he would have been...
He probably would have been an okay.
I was just...
He would have moved to Idaho. No offense.
I was just...
He would have moved someplace and been fine,
We'll see.
I was just looking up Tom in the Pinellas County case search.
And
I accidentally put my first and last name.
Did anything come up?
no.
Am I wanted in Pinellas County?
Oh no.
I'm just used to filling out my name. Jury trial is set. Oh,
When?
the jury trial is set for 2025.
2025.
Yes, jury trial is set for May 19th, 2025 at 8:30 a.m.
To wait another year?
Yeah.
So he
Oh.
waived the right to speedy trial. Remember?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the speedier, the closer to death he gets.
Yes. All right.
Wow.
He's like, no, I'm okay. We can wait.
We can wait. We can push this off. All right, guys. There you have it.
That sucks.
A neo-Nazi murderer. He murdered plastic surgeon, hairdresser, and almost
Don't
murdered,
get any ideas.
and almost murdered contact lenses company's owner.
And the state rep, he probably wanted to kill him too.
No, he said he just wanted to go there to discuss his concerns.
Yeah. They
He's
said,
such a rational guy.
Yes, he wanted to discuss his concerns.
I'm not crazy. I wanted to speak it out with the
so
politicians.
first, okay, his
Talking about Tom?
Tom.
Okay.
Tom's counsel filed a motion to continue the trial.
Who is Tom? Refresh their memories.
Tom is a plastic surgeon who is accused of murdering a lawyer that he was his opposing counsel on a case that he was involved in, a civil case.
In
So-
Tampa.
In Tampa.
Last year.
Yes.
So first, the trial was set for January 27th of 2025. So like a full year from now.
Mm-hmm.
But then they said that they don't believe the case will be ready. And because his lead counsel has been scheduled for a month-long jury trial in federal court in New Jersey for the entire month of 2025 or January 2025. So they filed a motion to continue, and I guess they got it granted for May.
Okay, so we will be following this closely till May 2025, and maybe we'll take a field trip.
Yes. We'll take a field trip in May 2025 and watch. We'll broadcast live from the trial.
I bet
Yeah.
you those motherfuckers will file another motion for continuing.
Probably. If it's May 20, it's like a contractor. They say they'll be done by May. It'll be 6 months later.
Yeah.
Wait, so if you want to postpone your trial, you just have to hire a lawyer that has a very busy schedule?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, that works?
Well, you file motion. I mean, the docket's always full. I don't think they really care that much.
Right.
He's in jail.
What
It's
if
not
you're-
like he-
what if
it's
you're
not
on
like
bail?
yeah. I mean, on bail is probably different, but he's in jail anyway.
Right.
I feel like those criminal cases, it always takes a really, really long time for it to get tried, actually.
Mm.
All right, guys. So there you have it. A neo-Nazi murderer killed a very nice plastic surgeon
And hairstylist.
and hairstylist and shot the hairstylist's boyfriend and
Got-
wanted to kill someone who owned a contact lenses company that made blue tinted contact lenses.
Like, the guy's just like a loser.
Yeah. So
and he got the death penalty, but it wasn't carried out because
yes,
somebody,
the governor of Illinois commuted all death sentences to life in prison without parole.
even though this guy confessed. As I understand commuting death sentences where there's some doubt, like DNA evidence or something that could be wrong. But this dude wrote. He wrote.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
he
they
was-
don't have the like.
He had no
probably the
remorse
man-
whatsoever.
He had no remorse. He was actually proud of what he did, and I thought he was helping society.
Yeah, but they probably don't have the manpower to like sift through every single case. and
Yeah,
be
it
like,
was-
okay, should this be commuted? Should this one not?
Yeah, it
Or-
was just a general rule. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. We'll be back next week with another episode, another story. Take care. Bye.
How do you uncommute a sentence? Can you uncommute it?
My God. I'm trying to end this.
Have a great week. Stay beautiful.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.